Morning. Here in Palestine. Me and Mom about to head downstairs to join up with the others. And where we're going to next, y'all will find out. Just left the kitchen. I believe we're walking the same steps Jesus walked while he was carrying the cross today. This is our hotel.
Day set up for us in the old city of Jerusalem. Happy Easter, everybody. You know, we celebrate Easter twice this year because of the the Western calendar. Today is the Easter calendar. So if you're celebrating either one, it's all good. It's all he's risen.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. Whether it is last week or this week. So today is the Orthodox Easter, right?
yeah, today is the Orthodox calendar. Sometimes every 4 years, it happens together.
Oh.
Every 4 years, but this year it's a week away. So again, everybody, this is the Christian Palestinian town of Bethesda or Shepherd's Fields, and we're leaving. Go through a checkpoint soon. You all have your passports, everybody?
Yes.
Yeah, but they sometimes, usually they don't ask to see passports, but you never know. It's up to the Israeli officer, to decide if he wants to see them or not. Usually they don't, but if they do, let's just have them in case, so we don't have to go back again. So we're off to the old city of Jerusalem. We have a list of things we want to do. It's the old city of Jerusalem. Okay. That's why they call the hospital in Washington, D.C. Bethesda, the house of mercy. Okay? So we do that. The two pools where Jesus healed the man who sat for 38 years on a mattress. And every time it was his turn, he would be kicked away. We'll do the reading, John chapter 5. And then we walk up to the Antonia Fortress. Antonia Fortress, everybody, is where Jesus was tried by Pontius Pilate, the Roman governor, who came especially for the Jewish holiday. He did not come to try Jesus. He was there for the Jewish holiday, Passover, just like this time of the year. And he's the one who tried Jesus. So we'll visit that place, and then we walk the stations of the cross. There are 14 stations of the cross, everybody, but we're not stopping at each one of them because some of them do not even make sense. Geography-wise, I'm talking, because it's hard to get to them, and then just a little sign that says the number. So we're going to skip some of them. We're going to stop at the important ones only, the ones that are mentioned in the Bible, because some of them are traditional. They're just traditional stations, like station number 6, where he meets with Veronica. That's not in the Bible. It's just a traditional station.
Yeah. How did that even come?
A tradition. Yeah, it's a Catholic tradition, very Catholic tradition, correct. So we'll stop at some of them, all the way to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, the Holy Tomb. We'll give you time to explore the chapel of Saint Helen, the mother of Constantine, the one who found the cross. We'll give you the chance to stand and wait in line to visit the tomb, the empty tomb. We'll do everything. And then when we are done with that, everybody, we will eat lunch in the Christian Quarter in the Old City, a very nice restaurant called the Panoramic Golden City. And then we will visit also the Jewish Quarter. We'll go down to the Western Wall and the Upper Room, Last Supper Room. So like I said, it'll be will be an 8-hour day at least. Yeah, and then I will give you free time in the old city, everybody. Just free time on your own. Go sit in a coffee shop, get something to eat, something nice, good. Just, do some shopping on your own. You know what I mean? Just little things if you want to. Spices, whatever you want. Just so we'll give you free time, at least an hour, on your own. Just explore. I'll show you what things, because you have to experience. The old city is a very, very lovely place to, walk around and go buy a T-shirt, whatever you want. So we'll do that too. We'll give you some time on your own.
So what is the distance between Tel Aviv and Old City?
Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, 60 kilometers, exactly, or 45 miles. Tel Aviv was the first capital only for almost 1 year only, back in 1949. Jerusalem been the capital all the time. The only problem with the embassy thing, folks, is that U.S. presidents, they kept pushing it, postponing it. Just President Trump said, I'll do it. That's, the other presidents agreed, really, they did. I want to be fair to President Trump too. He has just had guts to say it. Because the Arab world knew it. They had no problems with it, but they always look for a black sheep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think President Trump, you might hate him, you might love him. It's your thing, but he did not do anything wrong. Everybody knew Jerusalem was the capital. Even the Arab countries that in secret have relations with the state of Israel, they had no problems with it. Okay, whatever, It's just he had enough guts to say it and bring the embassy to Tel Aviv, to Jerusalem, which is really, people in Jerusalem would have loved it because that's more job opportunities, at least another 1,000 jobs. So it doesn't matter if if you're a Palestinian. This is my point of view, folks. What I'm trying to
That's
tell
the
you.
U.S. Embassy.
If you're a Palestinian and you disagree with the U.S. government, doesn't matter if the embassy is in Tel Aviv or in Jerusalem. No, I don't think so. It's just, it was postponed, and they all of them wanted to bring it over here. It's just nobody had the guts like President Trump did. Yeah, we love your mother too. Thank you.
Is Judah? Is Judah part of? Is that the same as Jerusalem?
Jerusalem was the capital of Judea, yes, sir.
So Assyria is what we're calling city. Assyria. Yeah.
Assyria is Iraq and Iran. That's Assyria. One of their kings was Sennacherib, the one who puts Jerusalem under siege during the reign of King Hezekiah. Another king, Assyrian king, was Tiglath-Pileser, who captured the Hatzor. The king was Josiah. Those are, the kings, Assyrian kings were mentioned in the Bible. Nebuchadnezzar was a Babylonian king, also mentioned in the Bible. Yeah, absolutely. Because it's a cradle of civilizations. It's Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia means the land between the two rivers. The Tigris and the Euphrates. It's the cradle of civilizations. That's where it all started. Abraham, where he came from? What's the name of the town he came from? Ur. He came from Ur and he went up to Haran, which is southern Syria, the desert, Syrian desert. Then he goes to Damascus. Then he comes down to Canaan here. Then he goes to Egypt. And then his nephew Lot was in captivity. So he takes 318 of his soldiers and goes all the way up to Dan, northern Israel or the Lebanese borders, and releases him from captivity for 318 soldiers. He was traveling all thousands of kilometers he captured and covered, really. And then, they make that decision. If you go to the right, I go to the left. You go to the left, I go to the right. And that's the separation between Lot and Abraham.
How do you think they traveled?
They walked.
They walked.
They had animals. They had mules, donkeys, horses, but most of the time they walked.
Yeah, but the king, I thought maybe that he was riding on a chariot.
Maybe that too. Maybe. To our left, everybody, is Mount Zion. We are going there later today when we go to the upper room, the Last Supper room. It's up there on the left. And the valley down there is the Gehenna Valley, Gehenna Valley. It is the valley where Judas Iscariot hung himself. The potter's field. We're going to drive through it in a minute. We're going down there anyways. We're gonna drive you through that valley in a moment. We'll make a left turn, drive you through that valley. Gehenna, Hinnom Valley, Potter's Field, for 30 coins, 30 pieces of shekels. 30 shekels, he betrayed Jesus. You know, Judas Iscariot. Yeah, I'll show you a Greek Orthodox monastery which marks the site where he took his own life, hung himself, after betraying Jesus for 30 coins, 30 silver coins. See, we're going down in a valley. This is the Gehenna Valley, the Hellfire Valley. And back in the Canaanite pagan period, this is what they did: sacrifices, children sacrifices, burning the trash. And then in 2,000 years ago, this is where Judas Iscariot hung himself. I'll show you the monastery in a minute. See, there's everybody. There's on the right side. See the walls?
Yeah.
It's a Greek Orthodox monastery. There's the cross. It is Potter's Field. This is where Judas Iscariot hung himself.
Where, here?
Right here on the right side. See the flag of Greece and the flag of the Greek Orthodox Church. That is Potter's Field. Because this area is called the City of David. This was captured by David, the son of Solomon, 3,000 years ago. From the Jebusites. Was the Jebusite one of the Canaanite tribes? He comes, puts the city under siege, and then he sends his general Joab. Joab climbs through the shaft and opens the doors to David, and then he conquers the city of David, and he calls it the City of David. Even though in the Bible, City of David is Bethlehem, because that's where he was anointed as a king by Samuel. But then when he captures the Jebusite city, he calls this one also the City of David. And then we have two cities of David, Bethlehem and this one, Jerusalem. Because the water spring is down there on the right side. The Gehenna spring that fed the city of Jerusalem for thousands of years. This is where King Hezekiah also digs a tunnel and brings the waters to this place. On the right side, everybody, there's a pool called the Pool of Siloam, right here on the right side. In the Gospel of John chapter 9, Jesus found a man who was blind from birth. He spits on the mud and puts clay on his eyes and tells him, go wash at the Pool of Siloam. Right there. And that's where the blind man was healed. John chapter 9, yes sir. And then in John chapter 5, we're going to go there, Pools of Bethesda. He heals the paralyzed man. All he did to him was just pick up your mattress and walk. Yep.
Just a question, Salah.
Kazan, Wakhil, Halal.
Salah, any Jewish rabbi in this region, do they do healing, miracles?
Not medical healings, yes. I don't know if they go up to the status of miracles. I'm not sure.
Okay, but healing they do.
Yeah. Shaman. But you
Have you heard
know,
of Benny Hinn?
Benny Hinn? I know Benny Hinn very well. Do you know his background? Yeah, he's from Jaffa. He's a Palestinian Christian. Ben Hannawi. He doesn't like to be called his Palestinian name anymore because he thinks it's shameful. Well, we don't like him. We're ashamed of him anyways. He's a con artist. Oh, you didn't know that? You were shocked? You didn't know he was a con artist? Oh, he is. I'm telling you right now. I watch him when he comes to. By the way, every time he comes to Israel, he makes sure none of the tour guides that he hires. He has 20 buses, 20 tour guides. None of them is not a Jew. They all have to be Jewish, even bus drivers, because he doesn't want any Arab Christian in his buses, a guide or a driver, because we know who he is. We know and we know everything about him. We know he married a young little girl. Her father was a preacher. She made him rich, and she opened a radio station. We know the whole story. But what I'm telling you, what I've seen in my own eyes, folks, here in Jerusalem. He goes up to the Jerusalem promenades, and he comes with 2,000 people every time he comes to Jerusalem. And then he stands there with his musical band and his staff, and he says, in front of me, this is happening in front of me. If you come with $1,000 envelope, please come forward. And then you see people walking like robots.
Yep.
Like idiots, walking up with these envelopes, $1,000 envelopes, and he doesn't touch that money. He has his assistants who collect that money. So 45 minutes later, that line is gone. Then he says, if a friend of you or a neighbor gave you $1,000 envelope, please come forward. Then you see another line of robots coming up with envelopes, lots of money. That's another 45 minutes, and then he says, $500 envelopes, please. I was watching this, folks. What are these people doing? Can you be that stupid? Can't you see it? That he's a con artist? And that's what he does. He comes here, collects millions of dollars, and goes back home because he needs another private jet. He needs another mansion, in Tennessee. You didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
I knew it.
Oh, there you go, brother. Tell him. He's a very corrupted man. He's a nightmare. You know what? I don't blame him anymore. I blame the morons, the idiots, the robots that stand in front of him, just cheer for him and give him money.
They made the choice.
All right, folks, we're ready. We're leaving the bus in a minute. Again, we're not coming back to the bus until the afternoon, everybody, all right? So please, whatever you need, take with you now. Ahmad is leaving us. He's not going to be able to see us until the end of the day, all right? Thank you.
Free bread. I suggest take your bags. It's not too heavy.
Whatever you need, take with you, because we're not seeing the bus until the afternoon.
Excuse me.
Listen, get
How many stations are there? 14?
Did you see the pool? Where's the pool at?
I haven't seen the pool.
You going in there?
Probably not.
This way, everybody, this way.
What's that? Nothing.
This way. No, of course it's nothing.
Nothing for us to see, I guess.
This way, everybody. Gather here, please. We still are going in the same system, everybody. We haven't changed anything. We come, we do the scripture reading, explanation, and then picture time.
Yeah.
Who would like to do John chapter 5 for us, please? Reading, we appreciate it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
John chapter 5.
Yes, please. The healing of the paralyzed man.
The healing at the pool. Sometime later, Jesus went up to Jerusalem for one of the Jewish festivals. Now there is in Jerusalem near the sheep gate a pool, which in Aramaic is called Bethesda, and which is surrounded by 5 covered colonnades. Here a great number of disabled people used to lie, the blind, the lame, the paralyzed. One who was there has been an invalid for 38 years. When Jesus saw him lying there and learned that he had been in this condition for a long time, he asked him, "Do you want to get well?" "Sir," the invalid replied, "I have no one to help me into the pool when the water is stirred. While I am trying to get in, someone else goes down ahead of me." Then Jesus said to him, "Get up, pick up your mat and walk." At once the man was cured. He picked up his mat and walked. The day on which this took place was a Sabbath. And so the Jewish leaders said to the man who had been healed, "It is the Sabbath. The law forbids you to carry your mat." But he replied, "The man who made me well said to me, 'Pick up your mat and walk.'" So they asked him, "Who's this fellow who told you to pick up and walk?" The man who was healed had no idea who it was, for Jesus had slipped away into the crowd that was there. Later Jesus found him at the temple and said to him, "See, you're well again. Stop sinning, or something worse may happen to you." The man went away and told the Jewish leaders that it was Jesus who had made him well.
Thank you, brother. So, like I said, there are 38 miracles altogether. 2 of them are here in the city of Jerusalem. So he's a rabbi, again, everybody. He's a rabbi, a teacher, followed by lots of people. And he's here on the Jewish holiday, correct? Not only him, but thousands of people who came to do the holiday, Passover, the greatest Jewish holiday. When we were in Galilee, I said they did this 3 times a week. And you can imagine the city, the temple, 2,000 years ago, we have thousands of people showing up at the same time. Jewish pilgrims, they came to the temple to do an offering. But before you do an offering, your body has to be purified. In the Jewish law, it says you have to have a mikveh, M-I-K-V-E-H. Mikveh is a ritual bath. Mikvaot, which is plural for mikveh, or ritual baths were all over the Temple Mount. And to have a mikveh, you have to have the law. The Jewish law says you have to have living water. What do you think living water is? Either rain or spring water, running water, can't be still. Living water, the Jewish law says if you're going to do a mikveh ritual bath, has to be rainwater collected from rain or spring water. That applies in 2 places in Jerusalem. One of them is, or are the pools of Bethesda, the house of mercy, because that's where they collected rainwater. They get about 1,200, 1,300 millimeters of rain. That's a lot of rain. Let me tell you how much rain that is. Have anybody been to London, UK? London gets the same amount of rain as Jerusalem. The only difference is it rains all the year in London. Here it rains, that comes in one short period of time. I mean, in London is known as it gets a lot of rain. We do too, but just in one short period of time. So that's a lot of water. You save that in pools. And the other one is the Pool of Siloam. We just came. I honestly did that on purpose. I asked our driver Ahmed, I said, come through Hinnom Valley and go by the Pool of Siloam because I want to be talking about it now. What did I say? What happened in the Pool of Siloam? The blind man, John chapter 9, where he was born blind. So Jesus knew exactly where he would find his audience. Jewish folks at the purification places, the Pool of Siloam, where you do a mikveh, or at the pools of the Bethesda, where you do a mikveh also. The difference is that was set at the spring, the Gehenna spring, which is natural spring that fed the city for thousands of years. This is at the pools where they collected the rainwater. Both are living water. Jesus also calls himself, I am the living water, correct?
Yeah.
So this place had a tradition for hundreds of years, since the Greek pagan period, that the angel of the Lord comes to these pools once a year, stirs up the water, and if you are there on time, you're sick, you get healed. The problem now, that man was crippled, he was paralyzed. Every time he would crawl down there, somebody kicks him and 38 years, imagine he had patience. What kind of man he was, who would never give up. 38 years, kept trying. It's like he knew someday he will be healed. By who? By the Messiah. By the Messiah. He will be healed. Just he had, today you get a cold, you get these doctors are idiots. I don't want to go to the hospital anymore. I don't want to. Folks, that man waited for 38 years. He never gave up. He knew someday he would be healed. And someday that day came and Jesus walks and pick up your mattress and walk. So the Jews in the city were very upset. Why were they upset?
Because he had mission to carry his mat.
No, they were upset because of Sabbath.
Yeah,
It's
he can't do
Shabbat.
it.
Oh, now we have a problem. I mean, they didn't have a problem for him waiting for 38 years, kicked around for 38 years because
That's
he
right.
was poor, but they had a problem since now he's walking with his mattress. Really?
Can't get.
And that's when Jesus walks into that temple one day. He turns the tables upside down. He calls it den of
Thieves.
thieves. All that corruption. You had no problem with the man waiting, kicked around for 30 years, but now you have problems because he walked 100 yards with his mattress. Really? So this is where he healed the paralyzed man. Pool of Siloam where he heals. What these two places have in common? Water. I am the living water. It's not the spring water or the rainwater. I am, he says, the living water. Wow. Okay? I am the living water. With the power in me, power given to me by God. I am your living water. I will heal you. God will heal you. You just have to have faith and trust. You can walk in water. We know, someone who walked up here walked in water. All he needed just trust. Trust in me, he said. Trust in me. You'll be healed. You'll be fine. Have trust and faith. Have trust and faith. You'll be fine. People today, they go to work and Friday, if I don't get my paycheck, we're gonna starve. My kids, I'm not gonna eat. No, they will not. You just have to have trust and faith. You'll be fine. That's what this is all about, folks. Faith and then mercy. Be merciful. Pools of Bethesda, Bethesda, the house of mercy. So that's what is behind us. In a moment, I'll give you time to go and explore down there. Now, what's this building here? Let's take a look at it, folks. This is called the Church of St. Anne. Anne was the mother of Mary. And this is according to tradition. There's no mountains. The birthplace of now. It's a Crusader place. We built in 1149. Yeah. Now again, traditions. Now you tell me, why would she raise in Nazareth? It's just a tradition. We don't know how true it is. We know Anne was born here. Some say, well, Mary was born here too. I don't know. I'm just telling you traditions. So it was built in 1149, and in 1187, like I said in the bus yesterday, the Crusaders were defeated. The first Crusader kingdom was defeated by Saladin. So he converted it to a madrasa. A madrasa is a school. School of Arabic, geography, logic, whatever. But for hundreds and hundreds of years, until the 19th century, it was given back to Christians, the Catholic White Fathers, which is an order from Africa. White Fathers because they dress in white. Probably see one of the two of these priests in there. So that explains the French flag because it's French Catholic property. And the church is amazing.
American.
Has amazing acoustics because the high walls. Every time you go in there, you hear a group singing. But I want you to see, once you go inside to the left, there's a statue made of marble of Anne and her baby daughter Mary. Anne has something in her hand. Okay? That something is a scroll. Which scroll do you think she would be carrying and why? When you go in there, on the left, behind the candles, you see a very big statue made of marble of Anne and her baby daughter Mary. But she has a scroll.
Must be on Isaiah.
Good answer, but not exactly. A very good answer. I understand where you're going with this, but not exactly Isaiah. You got to go before. One of the 5 books, I'm giving you a hint here. One of the 5 books of the Torah. One of the 5 books of the Torah, the Tanakh. You know the names of the 5 books?
Genesis 6, biggest number, Deuteronomy.
Deuteronomy, what number do you think she would be holding? And why?
Blessings.
What blessings? You're getting
The
very
28,
close.
yeah?
No, but
Blessings
you're...
for Mary.
No, Mary was blessings from Deuteronomy. No, Mary was not even born then.
Deuteronomy, blessing and
What's so special about Deuteronomy 6? No, no
A
cheating, no
prophet.
cheating.
I will send a prophet.
No. Have you noticed on the Jewish houses they have the
Oh,
little
right.
no
Right.
cheating, no
Yes,
cheating,
yes,
no
yes, I
cheating.
know, the
The
doorpost,
mezuzah,
they will say.
doorposts, the
Yeah, I
phylacteries,
saw that one.
Shema Yisrael, Hero Israel. Lord,
Here we say the Lord is one.
the Lord is one. Teach it. Read, go ahead, read it for us, brother.
Lord is one, yeah.
Let's read and tell you why they have it in there.
Deuteronomy 6.
Deuteronomy 6. Hero Israel, Shema, Shema Israel.
Love the Lord your God.
Read it for us, please. Go ahead, brother, read it.
These are the commands, decrees, and laws the Lord your God directed me to teach you, to observe in the land that you are crossing the Jordan to possess, so that you, your children, and their children after them may fear the Lord your God as long as you live, by keeping all his decrees and commands that I give you, and so that you may enjoy long life. Hear, Israel,
Hear, O Israel, listen.
and be careful to obey, so that it may go well with you, and that you may increase greatly in the land flowing with milk and honey, just as the Lord, the God of your ancestors, promised you. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your strength. These commandments that I give you today are to be on your hearts. Impress them on your children. Talk about them when you sit at home. Talk about them when you sit at home and when you walk along the road, when you lie down and when you get up. Tie them as symbols on your hands and bind them on your
Here
foreheads.
and the foreheads, phylacteries.
Write
What
them
else?
on
What
the
else?
door frames of your houses
The mezuzah.
and your gates. When the Lord your God brings you to the land he swore to your fathers, to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to give you a land with large, flourishing cities you did not build, houses filled with all kinds of good things you did not provide, wells you did not dig, and vineyards and olive groves you did not plant. Then when you eat and are satisfied, be careful that you do not forget the Lord who brought you out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery.
Thank you, sir. So, teach them to your children. Anne is holding Mary. The first thing in the Jewish family you teach to your kid is the Deuteronomy 6. That's Shema Israel. That's number 1 until today. You teach your kids Shema Israel, Hear, O Israel, Lord is one. So she's teaching. Why is Anne teaching it to her daughter? Because her daughter one day will get married. And she will have children. What was her child's name again? Jesus. So the first prayer she taught him was Shema Israel, Hear, O Israel, Deuteronomy 6. Okay? So now you know what was the first thing that Jesus was taught by his mother. Shema, Hear, O Israel. Okay? Alright, so it is almost 9 o'clock, everybody. You have half hour, explore Go in there, sing. But gentlemen, please take your hats off when you get in there. Do what you have to do. In a half hour, meet on these benches. Somewhere.
We can't go down.
Yes, you can. Explore, brother. Go, take pictures. Explore. Do whatever you want.
Woman.
Half an hour.
Woman has to cover.
Okay?
We have to cover.
No, you don't.